And we're all knotted up 1-1 in this epic battle between NRG and Loud. Definitely doing the Americas region proud. And we're going to be going to a map 3 on Fracture. Mimi, what a game. I mean, the crowd, just the calls, the shots, artists just throwing bullets into smokes and getting kills for no reason. The man's absurd. It was unreal.
I mean, it was incredible. We start out that half just thinking, all right, it's over. NRG's going to run away with this one. And then Loud comes out with these absolutely beautiful site execs pushing Aspas deep. He's having incredible performance round after round. And despite all that, NRG still pull it back in overtime.
Yeah, it ended up going way further than I thought. But that is the first map loss dealt to Loud. And NRG had to fight for every inch of it. It was absurd, the difference. And it came down to some bonkers plays. I felt like Crashies and Artists were doing everything they possibly could to stop their team from flumping out of this tournament.
Yeah, and GB, you mentioned the call. Some of the ideas in the last few rounds of overtime from NRG to win this out were great. The post plan where Artist is satcheling up, I think it's this round right here, where he gets so aggressive and finds, I think, 3 kills in the end to win that one.
And then he pulled out the AWP in OT as well on the defense.
I mean, that call too, he's just
like
him in.
the doorway.
What is this? Who does that?
But it's such a perfect read on what Loud was doing. It took him a while, but those last few rounds, it really felt like FNS had the perfect call to close that one out.
But think about this, the amount of effort that is being put forward by NRG to make these rounds happen, and it just feels like Loud just shoot good gun and win round maybe. Like, that, it's nuts. They're so freaking, I mean, I'm not trying to like devolve what Sadak and Fraud are doing over there, but it's like just a natural raw aim from these guys. It's disgusting, Josh.
It definitely is, and I think they've got some clutch power in these big moments. But I think also there's some big things that have been going wrong for NRG that they fixed in that last half.
True.
To me, one of the big ones was the pistol, right? Loud have won 3 out of 4 of the pistols, and this was the first one that NRG were able to take. But it goes deeper than that. It's not just the pistols. NRG forced twice as well on the previous maps. So this was the first half where NRG didn't go 0-3 or 0-4 to begin. And that was one of the biggest things that propelled them to that advantage. And then they only just managed to scrape it through anyway. So in these pivotal economy-defining rounds, Loud have the extra edge, whether it's based on tactics or whether it's, like you said, shoot gun good, big clutch factor play. Like, whatever it is, NRG are struggling in those moments to get across the line, and they just managed it there in that second half.
Yeah, and I think what you bring up, GB, with just the star power on Loud was one of the reasons they were winning so many of those pistol rounds. Across the first map in the first half here on Pearl, it was huge individual plays that were pulling those ones through, and then good game plans to be able to forward that into more and more momentum. On top of that, NRG, some of those force buys weren't working out, but finally they do get that down, at least for this one half.
Well, and momentum is the key word here, because we're going to Fracture now, and sure, NRG have managed to pick up the win here, but we are going to be going into, well, territory that I don't think, if you look at that track and the scoreboard there, that NRG are going to quite like, because they're going to have to deal more than likely with a double duelist here, Sideshow.
Yeah, and I think the double duelist is part of the problem, but also we have no idea what NRG are going to be going for. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, NRG, this team, this core, used to be amazing at Fracture in the past, but that was when Victor would play Neon and they'd play crazy aggressive behind that. We don't know what comp they're going to run. Is Artist going to be playing that primary duelist role for them? We just have no idea, and it worries me, because Split, their anti-stratton against the double duelist, just didn't work. They fell over.
Yeah, and for me, I'm looking at the defensive side for both of these teams. For NRG, if they can do a little bit better, you saw they only got 3 rounds on the defensive side versus the double duelist on Split. If they can do better against that here, and also for the side of Loud, in their match against Gen G, their defensive side started off dismal. They almost choked that map away because Sadak, I think, really struggled to call with that composition.
Yeah, both defense sides might be a bit cap here.
Yeah, potentially. And of course, you know, we're going to be waiting to jump into the action here in a moment as the players are going to get loaded up and ready to go. But this has been genuinely, like, when you think about how the players, how the coaches are just trying to like call against one another, figure things out, but then it just really comes down to those hero plays. And you've had a lot of heroes on the field there, Sideshow, whether it's Artists or Crashies. Aspas was a superstar. I mean, just unreal stuff.
And I think this map's going to allow different people to step up. We know who the big players are going to be, I think, from Loud. It's going to be Aspas and Sadak, the double duelists. They're going to be asked to do a lot. On the other side of things, we don't actually know who Chet's put in that star position. Is it Victor, going back to the Neon? Are they going to have Ardis run Raze on the map? Maybe, because the Raze actually looked really good. You know, HyperX was talking about the fact that we hadn't seen Ardis Raze in a long time, or does he end up pulling out the Jet? There are so many different ways that NRG could have crafted something, but I'm just worried their defense is not going to hold up because the site anchoring sucked on Split and their opping strategy sucked. They need to have taken away the correct lessons from Split.
Yeah, that they absolutely do need that. I think as well with the answer to their composition here is going to be really interesting to look at for Loud as well. They're going to be going in somewhat blind. So have they pulled out something new? Are they going to try and change their style? Or do they just stick to what was solid in their first time showing Fracture?
Well, let's see what we end up getting here with our Prime Gaming agent select. Fracture, the battleground, 1-1 in the count. You can see the hovers, and already we're getting a little bit of a change up here on NRG side here, Mimi.
I mean, those hovers are from history. That's what these players used to have. It was like 2 neons. It was Artis on Chamber. So these agents, a pretty big switch up. They go with the Cypher, which I think is a good choice against this Jet of Aspas. Forces you to play a little bit slower on that attacking side, give it a little bit more respect. And we do get Artis on the Jet. I think his star power will be crucial.
Yeah, Ardis trying to hold on, but even more so than that, like, how is FNS going to be able to stop the double duelist from coming in? It's one thing when it's a neon and the neon might run into a trap wire. It's different when it's 2.
All right, well, this is it. And obviously, it couldn't end any other way. NRG, Loud, Mat 3. Let's find out which team moves on to the semifinals, and we're going to send it right back over to Pansy and Hypoc. Have fun.
I think it's impossible not to have fun at this point, if I'm honest. This game has been a treat so far, but let's talk about these compositions, talk about your expectations here, because there are some adjustments from the classic quote-unquote optic on this map.
There are, but I have one major concern, which is we were talking about the double duelist comms from Loud looking a little underwhelming. Okay. The fact is, in map 1, we saw a total tempo shift to completely throw off that prep factor. NRG had the opportunity to look at that. They thought as if they would have the upper hand against a one-dimensional comp, but Loud literally doubled down. They went over and above to make it work, and that's my concern here on Fracture. Bringing the Cypher in, the questions around obviously countering, the ability to counter Aspas at least, but it's the double duelist. It's 2 up front here in the comp.
Only one of these 2 can carry on forward. Brazil's hope placed with Loud and NRG getting overrun. Instantly, Calzine and Aspas break down Som and Ardis and draw first blood.
Actually, the pinch is perfect as well. The fault line, so precise. A double flank coming through from Bridge, but Tui's on hand for the first and the second. It's a Prime Gaming flawless to kick things off here on Fracture.
Ferocious start from Loud, coming out swinging, cracking down on NRG. And I want to see if this pace can continue.
This is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about. Just absolute commitment to this composition working for them. Yep. And NRG, even here, you can see they're set up potentially for a set piece to open things up, but Loud are so ahead of the curve.
We're learning as we go, and the purchase is hefty. Coming out from Loud here, 2 rifles on the board so far. Less and it's Aspas, yeah, with theirs, and it's just classics on 1 sheriff for Ardis. And that's all they've got. Proactive work to clear. But again, what do you do with it when you find out all that information? You still only really have classics here, trying to maybe get a read on the overall game, see what they can extrapolate early on.
Loud was so good at this, by the way, finding the space on A main and feeling no resistance there, and that mid-round in place to immediately punish it. But NRG are here, they have numbers.
They don't really have the weaponry to do it, but the flash is really solid. Less than Aspas still mowing them down. Hold on, there's a little bit of a fight back. But it is now just Ardis. Calzine is low, Sadak chipped away at, but Les still sitting pretty. Spike going to be planted. Time is on their side.
They'll be able to retain that Phantom as well. So actually a Bulldog to round out the 3rd weapon saved across. Actually in a position for Aspas to get a rifle back on the board as well. So I'm curious here, NRG, do they get proactive? Just coming back to reference that Gen G game, they were tested. Loud stretched to the absolute limits. And some of these slow burn rounds look better on this composition. The mid-rounding was so good from Sadak. I'm so curious to the pace we'll see here from NRG, particularly on the defense.
I think 2 out of sorts thus far.
They should catch both, actually.
Yeah, that actually probably will. They're in a whole lot of trouble. Yeah, they are in dire straits. FNS, actually, it's Victor on the swing that found the perfect timing to try and back him up just as FNS fell. He did manage to get the punish, but Les swings up towards tower. This plant does go in and safe to back away. 3v3 post plant now. Tui's though, gonna catch Crashies. How the hell did Tui see him then?
Seeing something we don't, that's for sure. Artist now, a 1v3 once again. Can he get anything done here? Gotta consider just holding on to this rifle. But he wants another stab. We'll spot out Cow and Zine. That should force Loud a little deeper here. The fault line will catch.
Oh, sharp still. But I think he knows his days are numbered if he sticks around. Yeah, time to try and peel away from this. Stuck around long enough to take one with him, but still. This pace from Loud is good, and you got to say, for me, once again, Tui's, what an outstanding addition. Oh, this lovely stuff still. Keeping hold of the rifle, taking him away. You can at least keep Loud's economy slightly humbled, not swelling as much, but still fine on the repurchase.
Yeah, we'll force the repurchase, but still as good as a purchase behind this for Loud as well. And it's reminiscent, at least here in the first 3 rounds, of what we saw on Split. That commitment to overwhelm. Right, Tui's just got too blind. Yeah, just 2 blind headshots through the smoke. And when players are hitting shots like that,
what are you meant to do?
Exactly. Sting is here to round out, actually, to complement this rifle in the hands of Ardis.
Oh, he's trying it, Ardis. A valid attempt, just trying to be some sort of saboteur to this FNS. Deleted as Aspas strikes in the sight. Taking over tower, no more resistance. It's just the Stingers left here. The plant's in, Loud. Lovely on approach.
Will find another isolated here. Crashes will close that out. It is a 2v2 now. The Nano Swarm will find one, and actually a little fumble there, but Cow and Zine will clean it up. Beautiful adjustment as well. Ardis takes contact and the awareness from Cow and Zine to adjust that fault line to catch default. Also, actually, to catch tower as well, at least the stairs out of tower.
Yeah.
Loud's ultimate's just about coming online now. Got 3 out of 5 available, missing the Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper. NRG do have an Orbital Strike and a Blade Storm to work with. Aspas to invest his. Saving through here, potential to get the Operator online in the next.
Ooh. The aggression on the test here. But Aspas exploding towards sight. No Som on the way through, but by now the spike's actually being safely ferried through. Cow and Zine going to get a plant, very unorthodox thus far. Sadak might get the next layer of contact just around the corner. Great timing and completely unaware. NRG seems so out of it.
You hear this drop as well. Crashies isolated, but still finds one.
It's still a 2v3, it's possible.
Crashies has the Rolling Thunder, but they're both coming from the same side.
Oh, but Ardis really heads up played, still just have that diligence in case Aspas was lingering. Tui's, do they catch him? Yes, they do. But how do they clear that out? Or do they even have the time for this? Can they just start that defuse?
They could stick it.
And
they could
now
absolutely stick this.
To defend this, Les needs to get involved. He has to try and do something. The stick on the defuse. They've answered back with a second to spare. First on the board for NRG.
You think there the Rolling Thunder was almost going to miss that player in main, but luckily finding that kill ahead of it. And NRG on the board. Big investment from Loud, actually. See a couple of seconds difference here with the lockdown. It's a great awareness, though. As soon as they find this kill onto 2Es, they know they have the time to full stick that, unless actually tagged up very low. Put in a rough spot. The aggression continues for NRG. Go through the space, but Victor Find the information on the back of it, the smoke, to prevent any quick progress here on the side of Loud. But again, able to navigate their way through the absence on A main.
Oh, less.
It's always less than Sadak, constantly pressuring here.
And look at the attention they've drawn. Craving a response, NRG responding kind, but now Victor not going to be able to, desperate to slow this down, and does really well to buy this amount of time.
The smoke almost going to seal the deal here. Loud should have access to sight, but they're hesitant.
Oh my god, Artis, turn around. Yeah, he's going to catch less and send him to the Shadow Realm. Sadak going to burst on the site though. Loud should be able to get a plan out of this, but Artis on the way. The surround's going to come in. Sadak swings through, takes the fight towards CT as Tui's to succeed against Som. And now the push through again. Sadak going to double down on this aggression. Loud fighting for territory and winning it. And now FNS and Artis, what do you do? Up and above Artis! Decapitates, goes in, takes down Sadak, and now Tui's has to sit and watch as NRG fight their way back in.
Loud make the right decisions here. You can see the awareness of potentially Artis making his way all the way into Arcade already. The aggression comes through with the Rolling Thunder. Artis with two fantastic shots. Keeps Loud in check. Just 2 rounds separating them. The timing there almost. If Les, I think Les actually goes quick on the rope initially. About halfway, and I think that's why. Artis still catches him. Just a second or two either way. We're talking about slim margins on that previous map. Continues here on Fracture. Loud will call a timeout. Like I said, a little bit hesitant for me there. Outside B main, usually so good at reading the setups and playing this reactive play style. This time around, a little offbeat.
You can see the check-in here from the coach. 20 more seconds to have a conversation about what the approach may be. Chet on the other side. Now again, yes, Loud do have lead, currently at 4-2. But at this point, NRG starting to work it out, starting to hit that form, and we asked for a superstar performance out of Artis. Thus far, 10-3. Very good. More than up to par. But now we see what the adjustment is for Loud. Not letting this game get too far away, but the economy they will have to somewhat respect. You can see what the purchase looks like. I see a Stinger and Bulldog. Spectres, excuse me, not even a Spectre, just Sheriffs. There it is. Spectre for Aspas in the end. But the full purchase sitting pretty with NRG. Not really got too much behind. They haven't got that swell of wealth just yet with the 2 on the trot, but they will be soon if they keep this sort of performance up.
First time really, FNS is going to be tested off the rip here, because there's a couple more bodies, but Artis has found the space once again. NRG continuing to try and pressure this north side of the map.
They've had free access here towards Sand, though. We've seen it tested a couple of times. Crash is good for it, going to deny Sadak. Bulldog's still in play, though, with Tui's. And 4 players very quickly here. Yes, Les is looking for that punish, but the commitment still looking like it's towards Sand, but not finding the success they really want. Smoke's going to come in. And NRG looking to confirm this. Maybe a little flash through, but it's going to be difficult. Yeah, there it is. Turned wonderfully. Crash is still good for 1. And yeah, it's just not threatening enough. 4 standing for NRG, and again, gap closed, but that wasn't that full purchase here for Loud.
It's the point where we do get a little concerned with Loud's emphasis towards Tree and A main. That gap being exploited once again by NRG. See what the response is, whether or not the awareness is there from Loud. So they're basically hitting sight there where there's 4 people and minimal resistance elsewhere on the map. I'm already seeing 4 members of Loud heading across that direction now. NRG slip back into a much deeper hold here.
Yeah, the tempo change from NRG is curious as well, seeing this stark contrast. And it looks like they want to get a little bit further aggressive towards Som, towards Drop, but it's actually Victor who remains unscathed by this utility early. I'm sure no progress is made beyond this point, but they will lose control of Dish. So little by little, Loud trying to take over a little bit of this map after being kind of dictated to by NRG early on.
I think NRG with the correct read, though. This is just a probe from Loud. Retrieve the orb. Still, 3 members digging their heels in towards B site. I think actually...
Ooh, double pump towards
yeah,
A.
this is almost perfect. Aspas should be able to dash onto site and create a lot of pressure. Perfect timing on the molly to slow things down, though.
Really reading this well. 45 seconds here. Picked up, falls away, sits a little deeper. Yeah, gonna respect this. They didn't have that third man to the side, didn't manage to cheat him over earlier on, so...
It's only the Rolling Thunder for the retake here for NRG.
Yep.
If Loud can get a free plant and reset off it,
yeah, they have.
it might be completely mitigated.
Yeah, and again, no pressure on the back line either towards A main. This is going to be difficult.
Yeah, they
Obviously
send it
Crash-
to site. It's
Yeah.
not going to catch anything.
No, absolutely ineffective this time. Aspas still waiting patiently as well, over by drop. Denies so many chance to get into this retake. As FNS the one to see it though. Spots out one, does not see the second, already slipping through by Sand, but still up for the fight. Ardis being the tip of the spear, the defuse does begin. He's going to be putting his body on the line, he's going to be holding it down. Oh, lovely from Tui's though. And now just Crashies, and he's seen Loud. Finding adjustment really well towards the A side.
Tui's such a safe pair of hands in A main there. You see how calm and collected he is to reset for the second. You almost think there, with 2 players being forced so deep in A main, NRG have the upper hand here.
Yeah.
FNS holding down the fort. This reset here,
Oh, Tui's, wow.
so clean with it.
Now this guy, see why he's on Loud. You can see why he was one of the high priority players to get into this roster. He looks marvelous. 10-6 for him, leading the board for Loud here.
Operator in the hands of Ardis here, so could be grounds for a little switch up here. Still proactive to clear through the north side. FNS going to be left on an island here. Adjustment of the trips as well. He's looking to try and shut down Aspas on this dash.
Well, let's see if it even comes into question. Already Ardis back on the case, but the timing just slips away. As Loud creep towards the site, and they're further ahead than expected. He could have a terrible surprise, but he's so aware. But Aspas is so quick. Denies Ardis any play this round.
But again, look at the setup in A main.
Yeah. But
Les and Sadak again take the space.
I'm looking towards Dish. They're quick to it this time, quicker, should I say. Still able to put in a potential fight here. Obviously, Loud don't know how clear this site is. That window of chance is slowly but surely closing. But the site is now somewhat under Loud control. Yes, NRG have to peel away from that.
Flank coming in nice and early though. You can see Crashies have his hands full, but Tui's needs to survive. He has the orbital strike here. So he's that late round piece here in the post plan. I think actually NRG considering just holding on to this operator.
Yep.
With Som bringing a stinger in, he will get the upgrade. They will ride this one out.
Yeah, that fragile economy would be brought in, would be a problem. Loud navigating this incredibly well though.
Do NRG switch up where they get aggressive here? I mean, A main always feels a little awkward to push through.
Yeah.
Especially without a raise in this composition as well. On the side of NRG. They need to prevent Les and Sadak from finding this space time and time again.
Yeah, this work from Loud is wonderful. Succeeding over by B,
I mean,
also
it's
taking that space on
It's
A.
a banger
marvelous.
of a shot from Aspas. You can't even
Of
fault
course.
Ardis there. The timing, pretty painful to watch, honestly,
Yeah,
with when he
just.
drifts back towards Arcade. Could have been a completely different story.
Yeah, the difference in that round being essentially 1 kill. That's it. 3-6 though. NRG decide to take a moment here. Holding for a second. And maybe wondering where do they get aggressive? Where do they take that next approach? Do they continue to try and clear towards Arcade through Dish? Or switch it up? Dare they challenge that A-hall approach, that A main positioning? That's the consideration. Still have that operator, was recovered in the hands of FNS. Able to take it through to this round. Pop it back over towards Ardis, but the options then become Loud's kind of choice, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
They can then decide where do they want to adjust to just for the fun of it.
And it's tough as well to see the operator in the hands of Ardis. What's worked well for NRG is being proactive, right? They clear this space. They then reset. Ardis is left to drift all the way around the north side. They're able to get ahead of Loud.
Yeah.
I think a key indication in that previous round is seeing FNS's utility. As soon as that cage goes up, they find the kill on Ardis, they see the cage go up, immediately Les and Sadak able to capitalize on that elsewhere.
Let's see what this timeout's done. So he's still with that ult in pocket. Only one that's currently in play. Aspat's not far from his, one off. FNS has his, but again, you're looking at impact. And this is the man who could have it. Ardis and FNS now exploring deeper options. That's the first blood they needed. A double dip though, maybe overdoing it. Aspas even this out, but Victor on the other side of the map. He wants a bit of the action too. And now Loud at the man deficit again.
This is exactly the type of adjustment I wanted to see. Aggression through B main here, and as soon as Loud feel that, they look to capitalize in A main. NRG this time around with 3 members to shut that down.
FNS is going to be told he has to be ready. They've already cleared through A main. They know that it is coming towards his B side, and FNS is the only one here. Does he just hold tower? Does he play patience? Might be the name of the game. They've got freedom. Aspas starting to wander.
Double flank though from NRG coming through tree.
But that's going to be a loss of life to Crashies. CT now open.
Les found one!
How did Les connect that? Cow and Zine still on the side. They know where the final player is. Cow and Zine up against Victor. 2 utility still to play, but it's just the guns in hand. Victor, second bite of the cherry. He's been tagged up now, and it's the trade out. 11 HP on Cow and Zine. The flash, it's found him. Victor trying to play around this, readjust to the side. Oh, he's got him. Victor is the victor in this one. NRG up to 4 now. And this mind game, this chess game is back and forth.
That shot from Les, he was dead to rights. Victor will retrieve the operator. But straight away, seeing the perfect adjustment from NRG. A beautiful setup to almost bait Loud into what's worked for them previously.
Wow. Wow. What a game. Wow,
Curious now, I mean, it's looking as if Loud's answer to that is, right, we've drawn NRG into exploring towards tree and towards A main. Can we find anything from arcade? Or towards dish, potentially. Might fault line off this boom, but once again.
They're both here. Oh, they're so stunned up. Crashies and Som in perfect unison. Right place, right time, and Loud left in tatters. Oh, Les again. This guy's firing on all cylinders. But this is surely too far. FNS just trying to play his life. He's buying time. And the spike is left a million miles away. Oh, and the adjustment, FNS. Ambitious with the judge. 3 more to go. And they are low HP.
Yeah, Som and Crashy's very low HP. Victor making his way back through tree, but have to show restraint here.
50 seconds to work with too. It is time to make something of this.
Trying to hide that operator as best he can.
Full utility kit to work with if he has the opportunity, but the double stack now down towards the underpass is a problem. And the next step could be fatal. Nothing on the first, and there's the second. NRG waiting. And the gap closing now. Loud not finding as many responses as they'd like here. And it will be tied up potentially at the half if NRG are able to convert this. Looking at the purchase as well for Loud, it will be lacking pieces.
It really will. One of them being a weapon, a Guardian in the hands of 2Es. But 4 ultimates to work with. And this is potentially cause for concern, considering it was an 8-4 half allowed versus Gen G. And they struggled in the second.
Yeah, what a reminder. So many ults to invest this time, though. But Ardis is on the case. Oh, and he's walking on water. He's walking all over him. 2 huge kills. Surely he's dead to rights. And actually, they got Som as well. Maybe it's not over just yet. What can Victor do? He actually avoids him. But Sadak denies. The ult's in place. It's a 3v2. After all that damage from Ardis at the start, it's all for nothing.
FNS will be identified on this flak. So both Crashies and FNS position known. Utility on the spike. And time ticking away.
Defuse the spike.
Haven't got time for this slow approach right now.
It's so hard to clear this. with the utility on the site. What are you meant to do here? They've just got to run through the motions. Loud, if they keep their composure, they should take the lead into the half. Crashies sees the first potential target, but again, time is against them here. Working it down perfectly. FNS is just going to try and sit this one as best he can, and it's actually off. Hold on, there was a chance and it slipped away. Loud at 7-5 will be leading on this.
Give themselves a little buffer here for the second half, but the response is there from NRG. Ardis and Crashies once again putting up numbers for this team.
Yeah. As close as it could be here, 5-7. Loud do have the lead, but they struggled in this half in the past. We're gonna have to wait to see what happens now. Let's hand it back to the desk to talk about that first half we've seen.
What an incredible game of tug of war that we're seeing here between NRG and Loud. And you know, to immediately jump into this one, it's very clear the impact that's being felt here by the duelists for both teams has been very profound.
Yeah, it feels like this half has been a story of how these two sides have been utilizing their jet players. For Loud, it started quite strong for them with those fast executes in the first few rounds and utilizing Auspes to be able to get deep, find great value. But what I was really impressed with was what Ardis was able to get done on NRG. Multiple rounds, he's pushing north side, taking that space and setting himself up to have a lot of value into the retakes. Or it's kind of helping out, being able to push down the ramp towards the B side of the map, getting that opening kill with the operator. Ardis had a fantastic half.
And this is the pistol round, though, and while they go for the north side crunch, which I agree is a good anti-strat against the way that Loud play, they were not ready for this pace at all. It was round one, they hadn't got a feel for the tempo, and when you look at how this first half played out, NRG were actually winning more of the rifle rounds, but they are starting every half 0-3 or 0-4 down. I mean, Loud have won 4 out of 5 of the pistols. If NRG tried to force, NRG have lost 2 force buys, and if they let Loud get a bonus off, Loud have won 2 bonus rounds. They're going into round 13 here, and they cannot afford to lose another pistol. Otherwise, they are just going to lose the game like that, just based on the pistol rounds. Nothing else. They can hold their own elsewhere, but they're going to lose off pistol rounds.
Yeah, they absolutely need to get those pistol rounds under wrap as well, because traditionally Loud has been pretty rough on this side of the map. They really struggled versus Gen G to get a read on how to play the defensive side with this double duelist composition, and I think NRG have likely come into this with a game plan of how to counter that one on out. But if you start slow, if you give Loud the momentum, they can still absolutely come out and win this one.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? You simply cannot afford to give this up if you're NRG. And if you're Loud, you're feeling pretty good about your chances here. You got the lead. Can you close it out, though? That is the question. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's send it back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
Cast aside all doubts, this is an incredible matchup we've seen so far. Mike, leading into the second, what is your main thought going in here?
I'm so intrigued to see Loud's approach to the defense here. Like I said, they struggle with Gen G being so slippery in some of those rounds, really mixing things up and almost playing, defying logic in some rounds, just playing so unorthodox. And that's not really NRG's forte.
Oh, it's 3 players. No subtlety about it toward Arcade. He's getting temptation, but it's actually just Ardis getting demolished. And they're just running. They're making a mad run for it, a mad dash over towards A. The other 2 holding towards spawn, seeing nothing, so they have to start being proactive. Sadak showing a little bit of patience here.
And Cowanzine, though, ready to play off this contact. Cowanzine, I don't think he actually has the fault line yet, so Sadak has to back away from this.
Sadak
just misses the nade. That could have been devastating.
Crash is already down to 58. That would have been potentially huge. They get onto the site. The other hand, the time is actually good enough to catch one. It's a bit sloppy so far, a bit messy. Fall through by Tan. Cowanzine with a trade towards FNS. And that's fast. Taking it in the way of Loud. Som stands. Cannot deliver. It's Cowanzine. Takes down Som. And Loud get the gateway forward now.
And Sideshow just alluded to this. This is massive for Loud to establish a lead here. Can they do it again? Can they convert this into a bonus? Which would be huge for them. Do NRG force back into this? I'm seeing a Bulldog off the rip here. I'm seeing light armors. I'm seeing SMGs.
Oh, Christ. Oh, my God.
This could spiral out of control
It could.
for NRG.
So precarious. Okay, Stingers, Spectres, that Bulldog got traded out on. Jesus.
A lot rides on this.
Pressure moments now. Loud could start tearing away this game. Sadek does get checked on here. Gets caught up too by that as well, but no one to close the gap yet. Cowanzine by his side. Artis and Victor towards that right side of the angle, though, already making progress. They might need to respect this.
I was going to say, now that they've seen there's a force behind this, Loud will back away. Oof. Big headshot, but Artis can't close that out just yet.
No, but it's quite equal footing here. Artis does find Cowanzine. Crashes! Takes away Sadek from the equation. Sights under wraps now, flying that NRG banner. The other two players who are over here have to respect this now, sit towards that sand side. Spike planted. Artis is low HP, but again, you've got so many other bodies to get through to get to him.
There's no pressure coming towards main either here. Crashes might get isolated with the molly. Forced into a corner, but it's not. Yeah, it will catch him.
Oh my God.
Tui's has got it.
Hold on. It ain't over yet. The three players from Loud trying to work out the 5 that was against them. Now just 4. 3-step towards the side. Victor spots 2. Comm's going to be made. They've got to be able to support him on this. Where's the rest of the team? One by one. NRG are falling. Tui's tearing him limb from limb. But now just down to FNS and Artis. And he was already low. It's only FNS.
No way.
And Loud do the unthinkable. There's a 3v5. But the individuals from NRG just get torn asunder.
No way Loud have just got away with that. The molly comes so late from Som as well. The 2 pivotal kills put FNS into such an awkward position. He has to come back to main. A gut-wrenching round to lose for NRG. And a big boom for Loud.
For me, Tui's has been man of the match. Love what he's been bringing, the impact alone in some of these rounds. The ones that matter, ever present. And now pressure on NRG, starting to mount, but, well, Artis certainly up to the test. Anyone else willing to try and succeed in Cowanzine? No.
Oh my God.
He's got so much of a chance. Artis traded that, though. But they won out by Dish. So Aspas is still in this one. Oh, he's waiting. Anyone dare go for it? No. But he reads his fake so early on. This should be called out to less.
This has got a judge.
A demolishing hold. Demoralizing. Ultradis somehow did wonders with that Sheriff. How do you get past less? He's just going to buy time. He's just going to be a nuisance as long as he can just buy a couple more seconds. Smokes. Really good. Gives him space to work. Oh, and only Artis can try. And try as he might, he doesn't get past Tui's. It's double digits for Loud.
Look at that same position again. Potential to convert this. NRG will call the timeout. And they've had a fair shot of these first few rounds as well. Loud potentially getting caught off guard in some of these scenarios.
And you can feel that pressure starting to rise. The atmosphere thick with excitement here. The crowd knows this could break the back of NRG. Buy is here for them. Ult for Artis. 2 away for Victor. On the other side, lockdown for less. But again, NRG need answers.
That's a huge ultimate to have as well. Coming into this round that potentially could break the economy once again for NRG. That would get Loud 11 rounds, and NRG a broken purchase. Potentially back on those stingers again.
Making the cameraman work for it. Jibcam's never worked so hard in its life. All right, 5 to 10. We focus back in and we look at the buy. See Aspas, I see an operator, I see rifles beside it. For me, this could be one to truly start hammering those nails in the coffin of NRG. It's got to start now. That's what the timeout was for. And Aspas in early danger. Will be warded away, down to 53, still able to make that operator work, but has to respect the early investment and falls away from Dish.
Not rewarded initially, down to 53 HP as well. We'll back away from this. Actually, commitment from NRG behind him.
A little bit of a spam Cowan Zine, but not enough of a connection to really write home about anyway.
Eyes on less. Can he make it to dish here? There's one member in the form of Crashies holding this down to prevent this retake ultimate.
There's the pop of 1-0. As much as the pressure is here, you're right. The big swing factor will be by dish, and timing is everything.
Les
And
has got a
Crashies.
judge.
Oh my word, Les. Surely he can't close this gap. She should now be on red alert. Nice. There it is. Main threat now eliminated. They have to deal with the rest that's coming towards the site. Yes, Sadak is close. But you've got to feel everything is now favorable towards NRG. And waiting in the back lines is Som. In case he has to pull that trigger, going to invest it now. Time now on their side, and Loud want to keep these weapons. Rifle, the Vandal going to be kept with 2Es. The Operator with Aspas. And 3 walking away with their lives in a round for NRG.
Big one. For 3 to survive as well. There's some footing in terms of the purchase here. Bladestorm and Rolling Thunder available for NRG.
Massive.
2 big ultimates. Loud encroaching on that orbital strike. Their own Rolling Thunder.
That one kill, truly essential to outcome, could have potentially changed how this looked. Judge not quite enough, but Les right back into it. Still able to get a buy here. 2 judges, 2 Vandals and that Operator. And already proactive beginnings, Mike.
Doubling down, 2 judges now in the arsenal for Loud. Sadak playing very close up here with NRG happy to show presence very early on outside A main. A deep smoke. Cowan Zine here in support. Should have that fault line coming back online shortly. NRG though slipping towards the Operator of Aspas.
Precarious, dangerous. Waiting coil like a viper. Oh my god, waiting to strike! Takes out Artist, takes up the head of the beast. And now NRG working with far less than before. The rest of Loud slip away slightly, not too far. Still wanting to hold that A main control.
Victor found space on dish though. That should give Crashies an opportunity to get across the site. 2Es. Does he spot this out though?
I don't think he's seen Victor. FNS did find Sadak, so still winning the fight over by main. The pressure, whether or not they expect it, is going to be coming through by Sand. Does 2Es expect this? Yes, Cowan turns well enough to get the trade release. Cowan now locked in between.
Big
a
ultimate.
hard place.
They found the kill!
A quiet performance from Son, but when he needed it, he finds it. FNS already tenderized earlier on, down so low. Good trade for Som. And the 1v2, Aspas needs a rifle, gets it. But the ults are there. Som and Crashies both have round-saving ultimates if called upon. Som trying to play safety. Aspas gives away position, trying to check as he goes. And the players will hold. A good crossfire here, draws the attention on one side. Crashies digging deep now for NRG. They are not out of this game yet.
It's only really the judges that ultimately are the demise of this A main hold.
God almighty, how?
And that's going to be so frustrating. A crucial kill to flip this back in NRG's favor. Sheriff's into this one.
Yep, could be 8. Very much could be 8. See if anyone gets any opportunities, any slipperiness to be had. But now that early attempt at aggression gets warded away.
NRG actually very quickly in a position where they have a little bit of a cushion in terms of the finances here. Very loose hold here on B. But Aspas, a ton of information outside tree. Sadak and Cowan likewise outside A main.
Oh, what a shot. Oh, this instantly nullified in that turret posing a threatening position for a moment there. Not going to get a second attempt at this though. Som going to take down Aspas. The site started looking far more secure. Nothing denying the plant. Looks like it's all through main. The threats. No, FNS not going to fall for that. And none of these looking too threatening just yet. Yes, that initial shot towards Ardis was a problem, but he's now able to kind of stabilize, sit back a little deeper. Should allow the cross to sight, handled well. NRG up to task, 2Es. Still good damage. Needs a whole lot more to make this round actually a potential.
Some already set up with a molly as well, yeah. Still on the picture-in-picture coming through. Should allow NRG to hold on to pretty much all of these rifles.
Oh, an attempt.
Tried to body block it.
Bloody hell. Making a go of it for sure, but you all can hear the time. It is just dwindling. Yes, they're doing some damage on the way out here, but it won't be enough to change the course of this round. NRG pulling this game back in now.
I feel like this is almost the pivotal round here. NRG not burning up a lot of ultimates. They're close to that snowball round, which could come.
I think Loud agree with you. This is quite a
Yeah,
pivotal round.
this is a huge round for both sides. It won't reset the economy of NRG. But if there's investment behind this and Loud win out, it's going to reset a lot of this progress that NRG have built up already. Well, you see the operator in hand for Aspas. Showstopper available for Sadak as well. And the lockdown. Orbital strike behind that. For NRG, the only thing they're missing is Victor's null command.
Yeah. Tense now. Starting to feel it. Starting to feel that end of game pressure coming in. As you said, big swing round here. Certainly could be the gates fully open for NRG to kind of close round by round at that point. Money keeps getting brought back down for Loud. Ults get cycled through. Have to see how they work those investments here. Some fair amount to play with. On the other side, have to give credit to my eye. Ardis, marvelous. Needs to keep it up.
Huge day for him.
Yeah, really showing why he was such a prized possession during this. Fitting in well, it looks like. And what a test for him coming into this roster, facing off against one of their biggest opponents. Not an easy task. More seconds are going back underway.
Let's not forget, actually, that first run of 3 rounds didn't really equate to much because it's level pegging now in the second half.
How much they put to this? Oh my god. Oh, the flash is gorgeous from Victor. Opens up the A side, but will they expect the one player still here? Aspas, no, he's got one. How long can he stand here and try and take the fight? He takes one with him. He's doing everything he can. It is a 3v2 though, in less than 2Es. Still have so much work to achieve. The ult is ready though. Buying seconds here. The lockdown considered, I think. Rolling Thunder gonna come back in, just buying a couple of precious seconds, and the plant now attempted. There's the lockdown. Plant will not be denied by this, but that will deny the ult.
Again, a trade-off of ultimates here, and it almost locks Loud out of this site. 2Es and less. Still want to make a go of this.
They need a spark. They need something to ignite this round. 2 players on site, one above Som. Waiting on the swing here. There's going to be the investment of utility. It's done well too. He's still going to get one. Oh, I thought he was going to snap to it. Not to be. And here comes the spiral rounds. Loud now needs to be worried.
I was talking about investment. This one actually swings the pendulum back. Loud will be kicking themselves with that exchange of ultimates. This opening exchange was so close to going either way. The flash on the back of the boombot coming into the smoke and spotting Victor. And he's rewarded with 2 kills. But it's that investment of the lockdown when the orbital strike is there. 2Es throwing the orbital strike out. FNS baiting out perfectly with the tap of the spike. And that's effectively the wind in the sails of NRG.
They need someone to have an over-delivery in a round. They need an Aspas round, they need a Sadak round, they need something to change the outcome here. Because so far, the ball's starting to really roll for NRG. Less though. Gonna take a wind out of their sails a little bit. Let's get away with just a tag into the loving arms of Ardis. Good trade for Sadak, it ain't over just yet.
Showstopper available.
And you're right, but FNS gonna take down Kaunzin. Good, keeping even numbers. Aspas takes it right.
Oh my god!
Aspas doubles down! Doing wonders, we said we need heroics, and maybe he's the hero they need! Loud! Out of nowhere!
How have they done that? What a ridiculous round when everything looked so good for NRG on the way in. Out of nowhere, Loud pluck a Thrifty. Force a full repurchase. And all those positives, Lauren,
Yeah.
that I was just talking about. The wind in the sails, the economy built up.
Keep farming these kids.
Artis actually has to reconsider the operator because there's almost nothing behind this.
Knife's edge now. We wanted the spark, we found the spark to ignite. Loud again. It was 4 in a row for NRG, almost knocking at the door, bringing it back all even. Revitalized maybe Loud now. He look towards 12, but NRG not done yet. Still have something to say in the matter. Artis, quick work, fast work, less. Still alive. Artis tries to dice him up. The flash not good. This is sloppy. It's not working out here. Aspas delivers a missile to the brain of Victor. Speaking of missiles, Salak's got one of his own. Oh my God, posts it, finds nothing. And now they're falling like flies. Som still standing, less than Tui's. Got an uphill struggle and a half. The spike's down and they've got everything they want here. Tui's barely got utility to work with. Less, not really much to be seen here. And NRG looking like they want to answer back in kind. Shoving it down their throats with 4 alive. And Les looking like he wants to slip away here.
Yeah, to at least scrape some weapons into the next, but what a response from NRG. Going toe to toe. Fighting fire with fire here on Fracture.
Brutal.
And they'll get double digits. Aspas 4,200, Sadak 4K. Cowanzine and Tui's going to struggle behind that. And again, it's right down to the wire. 1 round separating them now. Som's 33 HP after that showstopper as well. Sadak desperate to find anything there. Unable to do so. Seeing Loud stacked up towards Dish.
Yeah.
Now they might just clear through the north side of the map once again. Repeat that Thrifty success. A stinger in the hands of Cowanzine though.
Time to mull it over, consider before they stampede. It's only less than Aspas here. Could be a quick rotation from Sadak, but again, keep in mind, his purchase is not perfect. Aspas, perfect. Actually has a gap to work with here too. Out it is! Sent home! Sent away! And he wants more. Aspas hungering for it, fiending for it. And Sadak still got his side. FNS creeps. Oh, the timing. That could have been the death of FNS, but it's not over yet. Aspas is on the hunt. He wants blood. He wants FNS gone, and he's got him gone. Aspas digging deeper than before. This could be 12 on the board. Crashes though. Finds 2 back in. And now Aspas and Zelak still standing, but not for long. Crashes. Is it all his to be had? Aspas getting closer step by step, but he's down so low. And time is against him. The chances are going as we speak. An operator recovered and he bows out of the round. This is going to be it. 11 to 11. It's all even.
I can't believe it's coming down to this. Loud will struggle to scrape anything together here. This should give NRG 12.
You can't say Aspas didn't try. My God.
He needed the ace to close that out.
What a terror he was throughout that round, but Crashies answered in kind.
Big response from NRG.
Oh my God, this buy. It puts it on Aspas again. He's got an operator. The rest, the best they've got is a Judge and a Stinger, a Spectre even.
No ults to work with.
Could be crumbling in front of their eyes. This could be so heartbreaking at 11-11 if NRG finally take the lead here.
The only saving grace is it comes down to a purchase next round. All 5 members of NRG looking to waterfall from drop here. A smoke from Tui's. This clearance are elsewhere on the map. Yeah, the penny has to drop, but
wait.
NRG.
Hold on. What a call this could be. Do they leave Artis to try and sell them a Fable?
The mind game's in play.
But Aspas hasn't left yet. there's still not enough that sold them on anyone else moving from the site. This should keep him present. There is still a chance here for Loud.
They're going to try and fake. They're going to try and draw the rotation with some utility here.
Oh, wow.
But Aspas, he's active. He's clearing tree. He's going to keep 3 members allowed towards A.
Who do we have here? Calzine still sitting
This
towards
stun,
main.
this stun in the paint shell could be devastation. Actually, the paint shell built up a little early. 30 seconds left now, Lauren.
This is down to the wire. This is so pressured. 25 seconds. They have to make a move soon. There's no other option to it. It's time to go. Time to fall in towards the side 2Es. Is there anything that you've got? No! Overwhelmed. 12 is beckoning, but 12 seconds is all that they've got to get that plant down with nothing to stop it. We're in the post plant with 5 standing.
Still got that operator, but Aspas got to be conscious. He's going to find one. Crashes will fall here on the first peak. Loud are going for it.
But where's that next layer going to come from? How do you pry these players out of these corners, even with that operator?
Look at the discipline here from NRG.
Look at this dirty off angle from Som as well. Okay, one dashed in, Victor ready for it. Oh, and it's perfection from NRG. It's 12 made, and the arena falls silent.
A purchase, yes, but no operator here for Aspas. It all comes down to this. Again, just, you can see some real positives here. The setup, the paint shell, the fault line, the molly. So many opportunities to stall that. The aftershock on top. Ever so slightly off with the timing. And NRG capitalize.
It's OT or it's GG. Loud facing down a terrifying prospect now. In front of their very own. Falling short of the mark by potentially one round. Well, the ult's invested too. They're trying to chase down these 2 players, but Aspas, he's pushed up by Dish. He still has a chance to maybe be the game changer.
No
the
dash,
difference
though.
maker in this. No, he's just got to stand and fight. How much can one man do? Oh my god, maybe just enough to spray. He's praying for it. He's not going to get it. Oh, this answers. Another 4v4. Smoke in towards Sand, and they're going to try and burst towards this. Ult goes in. Going to keep him humbled. FNS holding them back here. Sand goes down. The trade comes out. The spike now left loose on the ground. It ain't out of the woods just yet. A 3v3. And FNS maybe trying to slip through those smokes, but no, decides against it. Post-plant time. FNS. It's time! And the ult going to come up for the back of it too. He's just pulled so many problems in for Loud in a 2v3. They've got to put everything into this or it's done for. Kawazine, he's trying so hard for his side. And the 1v1, FNS. Oh my god! Kawazine keeping hope alive for Loud.
What a round! What a round from Kawazine. FNS posts up a huge round from him to even get it to that point. I can't believe it. They refuse to give up. And it's 12-12.
There's no way we're here. There is no way we're here.
What is that shot? Ardis slapped on top side, the aftershock. And then the headshot to seal the deal. You can see the frustration.
You can hear the elation though. Christ, these new players are something else. How on earth did he just pull that off?
He's had such a quiet map as well.
Yeah, in the most dire times, he pulls off that. And is that it? Is that how this goes now? The round that changed the fate of Loud? Or is it just a blip on the radar for NRG who carry on forward? 25 seconds as NRG pump the brakes on a timeout. I want to reset that mentality.
And we saw NRG really switch things up in the overtime previously. Loud, likewise.
Yeah.
We know how it went on map 2. So little separating them. Loud once again in a position to play overtime here on Fracture. Closed out 14-12 versus Gen G. Can they do the same again?
A new hope is born from that round, as it's not over yet. 12-12, it's OT time between these two. And oh, ferocious start, but no blood drawn on either side.
Ardis very active, looking for a second opportunity here.
Oh, he's going for it as well. He actually might press that corner, but timing is everything. And already they're on the side. Sadek surrounded though. NRG instantly quelling the crowd, quelling that aggression. Calzine less than 2. He's not having that chance now to set the site, but it's actually less to find Victor.
In front of it, a ton of damage onto Ardis as well, forced him completely away from sight.
They've actually got side control to an extent here. Cap on the spike to draw the first fight, but they lose it. FNS this time will not miss towards Calzine. It's less than 2. He
must have heard that jump.
Centimetre apart, really. The spike not the focus. They need a pick. There's just too many bodies, and they're falling. NRG look pissed off. They look mean about it. FNS individually, huge impact.
2 massive rounds back to back from FNS.
That's vengeance right there from the last one.
FNS hasn't been placing these aggressive traps. See how long it takes for Loud to realize they need to deal with that. Sadek punished for it. Ardis as well, rewarded for his aggression early on. Can NRG drag this across the line? Aspas noted here, no operator.
No.
Tag comes through. He'll be stunned up, has to respect this.
He does get away, and he has support from Dish, though. He has 2 players up there, so he's certainly not alone here.
First time we've really seen this all-in A main take from NRG.
Dirty angle from Calzine. Sight now smoked, they're on the way. Spike in the hands, making it through towards sight. Plant's gonna come in, nothing to stop it, no utility to deny. It's down. Pressure starting to mount though. Trying to get away from the site just a touch, leaving Ardis isolated, but that's fine by him. Holding towards main. How do they break back in this for Loud? These seconds passing. A heart-wrenching. Ardis with the first. Aspas! Finding the form towards Som. It's a 3v3. Flash goes in. No one able to capitalize, really. They're stunned up here, but they still can't break through those back 3 less. Thinking about it, and now the time is to strike. He's taken down FNS, and now he takes them all down. We go again. It ain't over. Loud refuse to lose, and NRG once again must face the music and go back in.
The full 5v5 retake here from Loud. This execute, first time we've seen it this well choreographed. This Aspas to be the deciding factor here from Loud, less to seal the deal. A beautiful take from NRG as well. So much value just on it, but they're so proactive behind these 2 smokes. They just can't hold on to it.
And the pace is quite quick. Making no mistakes this time.
FNS spotted.
No subtlety. What? FNS is still good for a kill. That's obscene to me. Victor already considered. This time, there's potency to this hit. They're clearing the site early.
Eyes on Ardis. And let's find this kill on the flank again. No, Ardis has punished it.
Oh my god, and that's potentially a huge avenue open. Feeling surrounded. Is there any safety to fall back to for Loud? Time ticking, but getting ever closer. That's a problem. Calzine burns alive! Som got it pinned towards default. Aspas tries to turn the flash, but Som there! That's the time for Som! That's his moment to shine. A quiet performance, sure, but the moments are hitting now with 14 made again for NRG.
NRG do such a good job. I was just crediting how well they utilize these smokes, how much they achieve behind them. And this time around, the util coming through forces this plant to be safe, forces Loud into a position where they have to commit towards his sight hold. And with Ardis punishing that flank, it's so difficult for them to hold on to. NRG, another chance to close it out.
How much do Loud have left here? So many times now forced into this position, digging their way out twice. A third time now asked of them. Sadak, how much have you got in the tank now? An attempt made towards B. Ardis springboards off the back of the knife, tries to take the position towards the tower. Less unrelenting, but will fall. The trade there for Sadak, and it's just mayhem towards the site. Loud is still getting bodies on the ground, though. Guaranteed!
Oh my
Holds
gosh!
the line! And once again, it's FNS, this time in a 1v3. A tap on the spike. No one wants it. Oh, they've done it again! This game is bound to go on. Loud, how many times will they do this?
How is Cowanzine still alive? How has he still got ammo? It's unbelievable what we're seeing here. A massive round from him.
God, this matchup between these two is just second to none. I don't care what finals we get, I don't care what tournament point we're at. This is one of the greatest matchups we've ever had.
And it sets the tone for both teams. Whoever continues here in Sao Paulo. Ardis. Ever so slight miss on the operator this time around.
Oh, punished though. Could be held in place, no one there to close down on it, but Ardis calling for support now. Feeling that pressure, and he uses the smoke criminal, flies in, takes out Ardis, and now FNS. No way, no way, he finally falls. It's a 2-for-1 trade. A 4v3 now favorable, make it more. Crashies and some. Insurmountable odds against them, but Cowanzine in trouble. We'll get at least a tag onto him, I think. But he's still standing. Holding the way back through here. I don't know if Som and Crashies can find a way back into this. 2 on site to get past. They take the lead. Loud, back with the upper hand.
It's such a fast and furious exchange here in overtime, Lauren. Both teams throwing themselves on the line. Loud now with a chance to convert. On the back of Aspas, he's so sharp. Ardis repositions perfectly. Aspas just walks out of his own cloudburst.
See the smiles creeping onto the faces. Quickly to be refocused and wiped off because there is still a task at hand here. They are not clear yet. And Aspas will be once again noted.
The switch up here might even be isolated, yeah.
Counter flash, yes, but nothing to make of it. Sadak on the swing, it's messy, but he will get FNS. It's actually Crashes to find Sadak. This is a bit of a problem. It's a 4v3.
Counting?
What? Oh my God! How did he get 2 there? He's made it possible. It's a 2v2. You can ask no more of that man. But 2 and less up against Som and Crashies. Som's angle. Oh my God,
He got spotted in the smoke.
He slipped away. He's kept his life though. But they're both on the site. They're both cornered here. They only know of one. Tui's looking for that jump spot, finds nothing. The smoke's keeping them somewhat hidden for now, and that time slipping away. They've got to get a move on. And the swing, the double swing, it's perfect. Oh my God, this game, it refuses to end. It keeps going. 15-15.
It's unbelievable.
I
talked about Loud being stretched to the limit by Gen G. Scrap that.
Cowanzine, man, how did he turn
Was
that?
he 1 HP? It's just insane. The heroics on display from both teams here.
The highs and lows of this game are second to none. There is no feeling like this either team. It takes one moment, one player to make that difference here. And they are so equally matched. And once again into the breach they go. Loud bring themselves to the moment here. Crashies, Som, waiting, pressure mounting. They're over by Sand already. They've taken a whole lot of space.
Crashes found the opener. Sadak will fall. Loud have to find a response here. Sat behind these smokes right now.
They have no idea about FNS, and look at the rotations, they're all in. They put full faith in Ardis, and rightly so. He's holding down half of this map and surrounded, and the firing squad is called upon. It's Aspas gone. Oh, the follow-up flash is gorgeous. Good trade, but the numbers so favorable to NRG. This should be 16. Should be taking the lead. Les doesn't like that narrative. Oh my God, he's making damn good. Oh my God, oh my God, what on earth is going on? FNS breathe a sigh of relief. There's still Tui's.
Got the spike.
40 seconds still as well.
If he gets the plant, he's got the orbital strike. Ardis reading this.
Yeah, he knows.
Can he catch him ahead of CT though?
There's
No smokes left for Tui's.
This is just bold. Tui's. Hold your breath, try and make that cross.
Oh my god! He's so aware!
Out of nowhere from Tui's, and now a 1v1 and FNS is 4 HP. For the right place at the right time. FNS, get your gun out.
Oh
Tui's!
my word! What are these rounds?
You won't see anything like this again. We ask questions of these players. We put the unthinkable scenarios to them, and they are up to the test time and time again. Look at this.
Was that a 2v5?
It was either 2v5 or 2v4. But if you're an NRG fan, you are in pieces, Tui's. Come on.
We talked about him and Cowanzine having the potential to pull one of these rounds out, and Tui's still delivering them here.
Out of this world. Big info off the back of that knife, though. Normally just noting one, just noting Aspas, for example, but this time seeing a whole different look here.
The Loud. Dig a little deeper here. Tempered aggression here in A main. Only less to hold down the fort here. NRG should be able to navigate away from that setup.
Shouldn't have lost that last round. Seen crazier things happen in this series, Mike. And away we go, off to the races. Less. First fight lost. NRG are in. The site, by all rights now, should be pretty safe. We know it. Obviously, NRG do not. They still need to go through the list. But this retake, who's waiting? It's going to be Crashies. He could greet them before the expected angle. He tucks in. Oh my god, Ardis goes down, but it almost plays into the back. So do they still check? Yes, they do. Sadek, brilliant heads-up play. Storm is there to help him out, but actually, Crashies has fallen. Victor dives into effect, desperate to help him out, but backs away at the right time. Maybe just Tui's and Sadek to try and pull off again the unthinkable.
Still got a smoke. 24 HP here. Sadek has to lead the charge for Loud. NRG tucking in now.
Shot and a half, FNS, big work, safe pair of hands. Tui's at 24 HP, probably the death of him now. First player seen, second considered, we go again, Mike. Inseparable by all rights, we can't say it enough. 16-16.
We're in round 33.
I hope you didn't have plans for later, mate. Or having a voice, potentially.
I don't want to leave.
No,
I don't want it to
chain
end.
me to the desk. We'll keep going, I don't mind. Such violent delights between these two. Individuals out of character, step-ups from players. I mean, FNS has elevated beyond expectation. We've had on the other side less huge pop-off rounds. Tui's incredible clutches. It's had it all. And once again, we go back in.
Sadek here to plant the seeds. Now, 4 members of NRG this side. Aspas will get close to this trap. There's a big gap in the defense right now for NRG. Deal with the trap, and they follow through it. FNS could be isolated here, Lauren.
Yeah, and he is mowed down into the blender. Sadek with the follow-up too.
And another.
Tell me where. Maybe straight through the smoke at this point. Looking for a response to Crashies. Not gifted one though. Time to be purchased on the plant. Good utility there. Crashies willing to dive in though, but the second round is going to hurt. It's going to chunk him down. That's fast. Huge round. Crashies the only one alive, barely breathing. The walking wounded. And now to be the walking dead. Less closes down the account and gives once again Loud the advantage. Series points.
And the free first blood means there's so much utility for Loud to dump on that spike. One more shot to seal the deal here for Loud.
God.
What is that second?
Oh, that's unfortunate for Victor, isn't it, really? Feels
Rough
quite
scenes.
bad.
Rough scenes.
Oh my god, 16-17. This is something else to me. Deep breaths for NRG. And hold tight for Loud. 17 rounds by their name. The one that's so evasive is now, but the rotation, the timing on this is massive. Yes, he'll note the trap, but that's fine.
I think he's far enough away to updraft. I think he has.
Yes, he is quick to this, and they are sitting deep. Don't want to allow any of these picks to come in. NRG will probably get a plant from this, but they will not be safe from these deeper post plants.
Roll your minds back. A full 5v5 retake previously for Loud in this very situation.
The tension building, the plant comes in, and they question the discipline.
Tagged up heavily on the flank. He has to peel away.
He does. And that was meant to be a big factor here. Sadek, though, isolating Victor towards CT is massive. It opens up a way back in. Artist tries to give himself a little bit of a one-way to play with, but it's Som who's going to benefit as well. Ooh, the timing! Crashies finds Sadek, and maybe it's all but done! Crashies and FNS, the last two alive! And they've got their work cut out, to say the least. FNS, the timing ain't there, and it's over!
My God!
Loud have poured their hearts and souls into this game! The crowd is on their feet! The Brazilian hope is still alive!
What a series! What a close! Absolute madness! NRG giving it everything they had. So little to separate these teams today, Lauren.
The legend of El Clasico continues. These two teams providing some of the best Valorant you can ever see. NRG putting up a brilliant performance. But of course, the team we're here for right now is Loud.
Crashies and Artists trying their best. What a performance out of both of them. FNS stepping up towards the end of Fracture.
But look at that.
You can hear the reception here. What an exhausting series to have to endure. But what a relief.
Finally breaking ahead. These two teams so inseparable till this point. Second to none, bringing the highest quality games you can have. I mean, this is one for the book, certainly.
Absolutely. One of the best series of Valorant we've ever seen. And that's with the first map aside. Roll your mind back to how this started.
That could have almost been a 2-0 at one point. Man, yeah, start to finish, this game was unbelievable. You can't really put some of these series into words. These two are just something else, facing off against each other. Sadak, FNS, incredible capability between the two. Credit as well, we've got to talk bigger picture now. Artis, magnificent performance from him. 29 kills in the end, but the impact alone was fabulous. Crashies stepped up to no end.
There's so little difference between Aspas and Artis on the scoreboard, by the way. I mean, 8 first bloods apiece, 30 kills for Aspas, 29 for Artis, and it's the impact. It's in some of the pace changes of some of these rounds where they both delivered so much. And it's a tall order to step into that server and go toe-to-toe with a player like Aspas.
Yeah.
Take nothing away. Cowan Zine and 2Es. Those names for Loud, keep your eyes on them. There were questions coming into this, but they delivered so much. So many individual rounds for them today.
You can talk about, you think the caliber, the quality has changed. In my eyes, you have such a high potential ceiling with this new Loud team.
Like I said, this makes a statement for whichever one of these teams was going to continue.
Yeah.
I said Loud doubling down on this kind of, well, yeah, I'll say unorthodox, right?
Sure.
Some of this unorthodox approach to some of these compositions, but committing to it fully here and making it work versus an NRG. It's such a fascinating, entire series to go back and watch. The reads in some of these rounds were insane on both sides of the coin.
They truly were. It was a marvelous game, and one to watch back as well. Take your time over, really enjoy it. But now though, match MVP, I dare ask you it.
The 2Es for me.
Same.
It's a guy I've been singing his praises just from the first few opening series here. Again, coming up clutch so many times. And that's it's almost criminal not to have Cow and Zine up there as well.
It is a little unfortunate to an extent that he's not there, but I think, again, when people talked about Loud, it was always the 5 players that are all as good as each other. I think we have something similar here, and magic has truly been made in this arena for those guys. You know, this could be a lifetime sort of achievement, and they are not done yet, but that could have been a grand final any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely fitting of that.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, but the day is far from over. We still have a game coming up after this, so don't go too far away. The analyst desk will be joining you in just a moment.
comes down to this, the Alpha Bracket Finale. Today, we'll find out which teams move on to the semifinal in 2 regional showdowns. Are you ready?
Okay, this could be deadly though. Get close. A loud move in. Aspas. Oh my god, he's got 20 HP. How does he do anything in this? The time is dwindling and Tui's just driving. Loud making it up to 9. And well, we'll call this round done because Tui's has got 3.
Guys.
It's map 1 locked in for Loud. NRG falling to pieces. Oh, Loud with a tap on the spike. Unless, oh my word!
Nice try, nice try. It's okay, it's okay.
The backlines are no longer safe, so they need to win out top. They're going straight through towards Link. Big to lovely work from NRG. Aspas breaks in. Yeah, he's in a whole lot of trouble. He's dead, Aspas. Loud are knocking at the door now. NRG should be worried. The utility's coming in, and NRG. This game demanded it. It deserved a third, and we're going the distance. 3v3 post-bomb now. Tui's though, gonna catch Crashies. How the hell did Tui see him then? Spots out one, does not see the second, or he's slipping through by Sand, but still up for the fight. Oh, lovely from Tui's though. This could be 12 on the board. Crashies though, finds 2 back in. Crashies.
Good call, baby, good call.
Kawazine, he's trying so hard for his side. Oh my god! Kawazine! Cross. Oh my god! In the right place at the right time. Finesse, get your gun out. Oh, Tui! Loud have poured their hearts and souls into this game. The crowd is on their feet. The Brazilian hope is still alive.
Those are your Prime Gaming post-match highlights, and Loud has met the moment here in Sao Paulo in front of a home crowd, cheering them on through and through in what truly was, in my opinion, one of the greatest series in esports history across the board. I would tell if you have a friend who doesn't know anything about esports, you want to show them what it's all about, show them this match, and they will become a believer. What a game that was.
I mean, it was incredible. I came in today, a Loud doubter was like, I don't know if they have what it takes. I don't know if this team is going to be as strong as what we've seen in the past from this roster. And then they come out and they absolutely play up to the moment in such incredible form. Every one of their individuals was absolutely popping off in this final map. Honestly, it feels kind of like old Loud. You can't even pick out one star from the mix of all these fantastic individuals.
Yeah, I think Aspas played incredibly. Kawazine came alive in overtime to save them from 3 separate match points where NRG had them up against the ropes. The 3K he found on the A side, what
Ridiculous.
was that? I mean, absurd situation. And on the other side of things too, you've got to appreciate Crashies just playing so well. Crashies and Artists look nasty.
Yeah, and I mean, the kind of the new version of what Loud came out with, their style worked so well in this matchup. They started on Split, absolutely dominating with their double duelist comp, came out here as well, and I think showed us a little bit more depth to it. They had the fast hits, but they also had quite a few slower rounds, utilizing the tools of both those duelists to great effect, and then also just being able to star power to shine in overtime.
I can't believe that this is going to be a domestic rivalry now. You go and watch the Americas League, you're getting this in the regular season. You don't have to wait for Masters or Champs or Lock-In. You can get this on a regular basis, straight into your veins. This is nuts. I mean, the quality of play here just can't be overstated. I think you're absolutely right. I think this might be the best BO3 we've ever had in Valorant, and it's pushing up there with some of the greatest games ever that we've seen in the scene.
I think it's, you know, a combination of the fact that NRG, you know, not to disparage their good name here because they played a hell of a series, but you really felt like the whole time NRG were playing from behind, trying to catch up, and it just felt as if Loud were constantly in control. Even when things were kind of falling apart and NRG were coming back, you still knew that Loud had that extra oomph in them to bring back the game.
I mean, I think it started with the pistol rounds. You talked about them so often, Josh. 5 out of 6 were won by the side of Loud, and they did a great job of building momentum off of that.
At Champions, Loud were incredible at pistol rounds as well. They won 20 out of 34 pistol rounds at Champs, and Frod was a big part of that, and now he's the head coach for the team. It's nuts. But I think another part to this too is the rookie players are playing so well. We talked about how Cowanzine, who has been to a LAN before, stepped up in that big moment. Tui's, I mean, he went crazy. The opener, he popped off. The finisher, he went nuts as well.
I mean, again, just like Cowanzine, so many of the moments where this guy was the star, saving rounds in overtime. So much impact out of him as an individual across the board.
And I think that part of what you're watching with Loud and with their big players, they were able to recover bad situations. They had a 40% win rate down a player when it came to their final map. They had a 66% win rate down a player on the first map. You know, that is absurd to be able to recover situations in a 4v5.
I'm stunned. I genuinely thought that this was going to be just Artist popping off, and then he just swings a corner with the confidence of a freaking army, and then just takes the shot because he knows he can. He actually did have an army of people behind him, Mimi. It was incredible.
We haven't even mentioned that yet. The crowd in here during that overtime was such an insane experience. Every single time one of those miracle rounds got pulled out for Loud, it was ridiculous. The support this team has is wild. Seeing them make it to top 4 in their home country, defending their title, it's just such a good story.
Also, in terms of the full buy versus full buy rounds, Loud, despite winning the first map 13-3, they only won 4 more of the rounds. So this was an insanely close series.
Yeah, it really, really was. But unfortunately, that means we have to say bye-bye to NRG for now. But like Sideshow said, we are going to get plenty of this in the Americas League. And I'm just so excited for it. But this match, top to bottom, or rather NRG top to bottom, it has been awesome to see this team evolve and grow. But there are going to be some things that they need to clean up going into the Americas League.
Yeah, I think every player on their way home is going to be thinking about the moments that they slipped up, the moments that they missed.
Yeah.
And that's natural. Crashy's had an insane game, Artist as well. Victor had a really rough final map there, but also they really pushed Loud. They needed heroics to get to OT on both of the maps where it went to overtime.
True.
And they had 3 rounds where they could have won the series, so you can't be that down on them.
And to pull out wider to their run here at Lock-In overall, they've implemented 2 new players, both of whom have looked fantastic. They've managed to change up their style a little bit. They've moved away from being reliant on that one superstar in Ye, and I think there's a really strong future for this NRG squad.
And now that means that Loud is going to be heading over to the semis. So, you know, I guess all of this continues onward. It's going to get even more bonkers from there. And I'm curious, Sideshow, to get your thoughts on this, because is this Loud capable of winning the event?
Of course we're going to start talking about that, right? We've never seen a winner of 2 international events before. We haven't seen a back-to-back, which is what this would be. I think Loud look like they might be in the form, but we haven't seen, you know, DRX, Fnatic, 100 Thieves, all of these massive teams yet.
I mean, that's what's wild about this format. We have absolutely no idea who from the Omega bracket will come out to challenge the teams who are making it into the top 4 from this side. And that's also, I think, a pretty good advantage for Loud, because they get 2 weeks off to go chill out, watch the games, prepare, and get ready. It feels like there is a good chance that they maybe could pull it off, though.
Coach Fraud with time?
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, name a better combination. Now, before the break, though, we asked you guys to vote for the player of the match, and good luck on that one. The polls, of course, have closed, and with 100% of Twitter predicting what's coming through, we got Aspas. I think, you know, look, actually, it doesn't matter. Anyone could have been the MVP. Yeah, anyone could have been the MVP.
I think that's completely correct. I mean, Aspas had so many big moments. He always plays amazingly against this NRG core. He just always finds his moments.
I'm pretty sure that FNS has Aspas as just his sleep paralysis demon. Every time they come to one of these international events, it is Aspas sending these guys home.
Oh, boy. Well, that is going to do it for us here. But for more on that win, let's go ahead and send it over to Yinsu, because she's going to be standing by with the young gun Cowanzine for the Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. That's right, I have Cowanzine with me. By the way, he was robbed in that poll, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And Arthur is going to be here to translate as well. First of all, massive congratulations. That was such a long game, a grueling battle. But I want to quickly ask you about one particular clutch that you were in. The one that got your team into the overtime. I think at that point it was a 1v3, maybe even NRG thought it was over. Talk me through, you know, what was going through your mind? How did you manage to clutch that out? And also all of the other impact kills you've managed to get in the overtime as well. It was kind of crazy.
Então, primeiramente, muito obrigado, muito parabéns para a vitória de vocês. Foi um jogo muito extenso, imagino que você esteja bem cansado, mas a gente quer saber um pouco mais de um momento específico sobre um clutch, onde que estava um momento que até a NRG parece que ia conseguir ganhar ali, mas vocês conseguiram segurar. Como é que foi isso? O que passou na cabeça de vocês?
Olha, pra falar a verdade, quando eu vi que tava 1v3, eu nem olhei o placar, não olhei nada, só joguei e, sei lá, consegui ganhar o clutch. Acho que eu só joguei mesmo, sabe? Só entrei no estado de flow e aconteceu.
Honestly, like when he saw it was like a V3, he got into like a mode that he was like not even looking at the score. He was just like, let me just like bring my game, and that's what happened.
Well, your game was the winning game. Now, you know, you've been to an international tournament before, but you never had this level of success. And also, I'm sure you've watched all of the Optic versus Loud kind of rivalry back and forth. So how does it feel to finally be involved in such an exciting kind of El Clasico in front of the home crowd here in Brazil too?
Então, com certeza você já teve alguma experiência com coisas internacionais, mas o sucesso que você está tendo aqui está sendo assim fenomenal. Como é que você se sente estando agora envolvido diretamente? Porque antes você já deve ter assistido muitos embates entre a Loud e a NRG por conta da rivalidade. Como é que você se sente com relação a isso?
Pra mim é incrível, acho que é um dos melhores sentimentos que eu já assisti na minha vida. Principalmente agora estando jogando com a minha família assistindo presencialmente e jogando contra um time que ganhou muitos campeonatos no VALORANT. E que eu pensava que eu não tinha nível ainda para jogar contra eles. E logo nesse ano, 2023, né, um ano depois de eu ter jogado na NiP, eu consegui disputar com eles. E tô fazendo uma disputa muito acirrada com eles. Tanto é que mano, foi pra OT, acho que 2 vezes, se não me engano. E, pô, foi insano e pra mim tá sendo algo muito incrível, tá tipo, lado a lado com o nível deles.
To be like side by side in such like a situation is an amazing experience for him. Like especially like playing here in Brazil with the family, like watching him live. It's something that was not like he couldn't even think about before. He thought he was perhaps not in the same level, but like last year he got a chance to actually join Loud, and like only 1 year after playing for NiP, and now he's here like matching such like a level, so he's like feeling incredible.
Yeah, you're setting the level right now. And lastly, and very quickly, of course, a couple of the other teams in this tournament don't play any duelists at all. But your team, you stick with double duelists and more than one map. And one of them is your IGL Sadak, which is not very usual. So what's that? What's the reason behind that? And does the IGL any different when he's playing that duelist?
Então, agora a gente quer saber sobre uma coisa que parece ser bem única de vocês. Não são todos os times que usam duplo dualistas. Então, vocês conseguem trazer para mais de um mapa até essa função onde você tem 2 dualistas ali e geralmente é o Sadak que está nessa posição. Como é que ele está ali como IGL quando vocês decidem fazer desse jeito?
Acho que na verdade esse segundo duelista tá sendo mais como um flex mesmo, não é tipo um duelista aquele que entra, que vai matar todo mundo, sabe? Quem tá fazendo essa função mesmo de duelista é o Aspas. E meio que a gente encontrou uma forma boa de jogar, principalmente com o meta novo agora, com a saída do Chamber. E eu acho que é isso, a gente só tá aproveitando essa oportunidade.
Like, especially with the exit of Chamber from the meta, like they think that they found like a very nice way to play that has a synergy with everybody. And like not necessarily only like Sadak, but like Aspas also play as like a double duelist as well. It might not be common, but like so far it's something that he sees that it's actually growing like in popularity.
Well, it definitely works. Thank you very much, Arthur, for translating. Congratulations, Caroline.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Now, we're going to give you guys a well-deserved break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, DRX will be taking the stage against Talon.
Red Bull gives you wings.